show, 'cause it's Power Up on the go. Do 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 do.
Oh, hey everyone! Doc and I are currently setting up a state-of-the-art communication system.
I don't understand. The flux capacitor is supposed to be connected to the surge inhibitor, and the surge in... Hold on a second. What if...
Well, Doc is. I'm mostly just handing him stuff.
Monkey wrench. Thank you. Okay, screwdriver. Thank you. Okay, pocket knife. Pocket knife.
Oh.
Thank you. Aha! Well, Miss Ameris, I'd say we're just about ready for takeoff.
That's great, Doc. Do you mind explaining to the kids exactly what's going on here?
Right, so the flux capacitor is attached to the surge inhibitor, which actually creates a gravitational field around...
Maybe explain it in English?
Right, sorry kids. Basically, through the latest advancements in internet communications technology, I have been able to develop a method that enables instant video communication conferencing that spans over the gap of space and time.
Which means...
We'll be able to maintain communications through fourth dimensional manipulation.
It means that I'll be able to see a video of Doc while he time travels. Right here on this laptop. We'll be seeing everything he does.
Exactly.
And I'm super excited because Doc is going to travel back to biblical times to see Moses. So we can learn about the day his mother put him in a basket to go down the Nile River.
Well, looks like we're good to go.
Oh, wait. For protection.
Here we go. Okay, Miss Ameris. I will see you on the other side.
Safe travels, Doc.
Thank you. Oh, one last step.
Did it break?
That's weird. I only have one bar.
What's the matter, Doc?
I just can't get any reception in here for some reason. You mind if I think if I just... Here we go. There we go. Okay. I just don't understand. Wait, hold on. There's 2 bars. 3 bars. Almost... Whoa! Whoa, rough landing. Really got to work on that. Oh, I think I made it. Well, first I got to set up comms with Ameris. Okay. There we go. Ah, and this must be the Nile. Moses should be floating by any minute now in his little basket. What's up, man? Wait, what are you wearing?
What am I wearing? What are you wearing?
What am I wearing? I'm wearing Egyptian clothes. That's odd. Although the attire is admittedly 1990s, when paired with a mask, I can only conclude that I'm still in 2021. Oh! The time machine didn't work. I thought I had everything right. The flux capacitor was my time machine. My time machine. Oh no. Oh. It's gone. This is not good. I have no idea where I am. No time machine.
you think you can just throw garbage in my swamp and get away with it, you better think again!
Albert! Albert, is that you?
Oh! Hey, Doc! What are you doing in my swamp?
Your swamp? This is where you live? This is your swamp? Man, I'm not even close to the Nile. I have no idea what's going on with this time machine, man.
You got a problem with my swamp? Think it's not good enough for you? Well, trust me, no one's asking you to stick around.
No, Albert, it's not that. You see, I was trying to travel back to biblical times in Egypt because I wanted to see the story of Moses at the Nile River, but I had a miscalculation or a malfunction with my time machine, and now I don't even know where my time machine is. So, I don't know how I'm ever going to find out what happened to Moses.
Oh, I know the story of Moses.
Wait, you know the story of Moses?
It was passed down from me great-great-grandpappy. You see, my gator ancestors were there on that day. The Israelites had been living in Egypt for many years, but a new pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt, became scared of the Israelites. He was worried that there would be too many of them. They would fight against him and the Egyptians. So Pharaoh made the Israelites into slaves, and he declared that every baby boy born to Israelites was to be thrown into the river Nile. But Moses' mother refused to let that happen to Moses. So she put him in a basket and placed him in the river, on the edge where some plants were growing, and he would not float away. Moses' sister Miriam kept a sharp eye on Moses, and my ancestors kept an eye on him too. Pharaoh's daughter, the princess, found the basket. She saw Moses and felt so sorry for him and decided to keep him. But Miriam was watching and knew that the princess would need help raising the baby. So she told her that she knew someone who could help. The princess agreed, so Miriam went and brought her mother to help the princess. Moses' mother took care of him until he was old enough to live with the princess at the palace.
Okay, so what happened next?
I don't know. Alligators weren't involved after that part. But let me know if you ever find out. Hey! Was that litter? What are you doing in my swamp?
Albert, I don't think there's... Man, there's got to be more to this story. How am I going to find out what happens next? I don't even have my time machine. Albert, I need to know the end of the story. Albert, hey, come back. Albert, I need to know the... Hey, my time machine. Oh, it's in pretty rough shape. All right, Cage, maybe if I just move this around and... Aha, okay. Let's give this a try. PowerUp studio, here I come.
Wow, it's too bad that Doc didn't make it back to Bible times, but I'm glad he still figured out the story. He should be back here any minute now. Ugh. Huh? Doc's still not here? Well, I hope everything's okay. What's that, Curly? You want to find out what happens next? Well, Let's open the Bible and find out. Many years had passed, but God hadn't forgotten about the Israelites. He knew they were suffering in slavery, and he had heard their cries for help. Moses was an adult now and lived in a place called Midian instead of Egypt. He took care of sheep in the desert, and one day he saw a bush on fire, but it wasn't burning up, so he turned to look at it. Then he heard a voice come from the bush.
Moses, Moses, here I am. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground. I am the God of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I have seen the suffering of my people. I have heard their cry, and so I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people out of Egypt. Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh? I will be with you. If I go to the people of Israel and tell them the God of their fathers sent me, and they ask me his name, what should I tell them? Say this to the people of Israel: I am has sent me to you. Also say Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has appeared to me. This is my eternal name, my name to remember for all generations. But I am slow of speech and tongue. I cannot speak to them. Who made man's mouth? Who makes him mute, or deaf, or seeing, or blind? Is it not I? Now go.
So Moses eventually listened to God and went back to Egypt. Yeah, he did make a lot of excuses. He thought he wasn't the right person, that the Israelites wouldn't listen to him, and that he wasn't a really good speaker. But sometimes we can be a lot like Moses too. We can make excuses to not follow the plan that God has for us. One of God's commandments for us is to go and make disciples of all nations, which means we need to tell others about Jesus. But sometimes we might not want to tell our friends about Jesus and make excuses like, I'm not the right person, my friends won't listen to me, or I won't know what to say. But the Bible tells us that our God is a faithful God. In Deuteronomy 7 verse 9, the Bible says this: Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments. You know, this verse reminds us that God is faithful and keeps his promises to those who trust him. Remember how God kept his promise to Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, and Joseph? We can trust God that he'll be faithful to help us keep his commandments. So if you're scared to share your faith, you can remember that God is always with you. You're right. Let's see what the small family's up to.
Bye, Julia. I'll see you later.
Why are you leaving me again, Jesse?
I'm going to see my friend Arzan.
You always go see Arsen. Why can't Arsen come here? And we can play together. I just got 2 new dolls. Then we can each have one.
Yeah, well, we're going to be gaming. Arzan doesn't want to play with dolls.
Well, we could play video games too. I can show my favorite one.
Sorry, Julia. I gotta go.
Jesse!
Jesse, I need you to come help set the table.
Coming.
Hey, how was your time with our son today?
Oh, it was good.
What did you guys get up to?
Just played some video games.
Sounds fun. You know, Jesse, I was wondering, why don't you invite our son over to our house that often? It would be nice to have him over sometime.
Yeah, well, we don't have as good as video games as he does.
Oh?
Yeah, and his mom makes really good snacks.
Really? Better than my snacks?
Well, no, of course not. But,
So, what's the real reason you don't want to invite Arsene over?
well, I just don't want him thinking that we're weird.
Think we're weird? Now, why would he think that? Oh, wait, I know. It's because we're secretly a family of werewolves, isn't it?
Dad!
No? Oh, it's because of that science experiment you're creating out of your unwashed socks in your bedroom?
I told you I'll wash them soon.
So what is it actually, Jesse?
I just don't want him to know that we pray at our house before supper.
I see.
I just don't know if he wants to be friends with me still, if he knew that we prayed and stuff.
You know, there's a Bible verse I want to show you, Jesse. Let's go take a look.
For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it's the power of God that brings salvation to everyone that believes. First to the Jew, then to the Gentile. Romans 1:16.
You see, Jesse, you shouldn't be ashamed of the gospel. It's the story of Jesus, and it can change people's lives. We shouldn't try to hide it and try and hide our faith from others or make excuses for it.
I guess. But what if Arsene doesn't want to be friends with me anymore?
Well, Arsene is a good friend, right?
Yeah.
Well, then I don't think he'll let something like that stop you from being friends. I'll bet you there are some things that Arsene does at his house that are different than what we do here.
Yeah, I guess.
Why don't you take some time to pray about it?
Okay. Dear God, I pray for Arsene and that me and him will be good friends for a long time.
This week, we learned that God was taking care of Moses by saving him from being killed by Pharaoh. We also learned that God had a plan for Moses when he visited the burning bush and told him that he would save his people, even though Moses made a lot of excuses. And we learned that God has a plan for us too, and that we need to obey him without making excuses as well. Our memory verse reminds us of this. Know, therefore, that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God. Deuteronomy 7:9a. Let's say this verse together. Know, therefore, that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God. Deuteronomy 7:9a. Oh, looks like it's time for Questions with Curly. For joining with me this week as we begin our journey through the story of Moses. See you next time on PowerUp on the Go.
Safe in the Savior's hand. can change.